Hello, hello. Oh, baby! Thank you! Okay, now I'm
Me too, yeah.
So then
All right, so I did put down the
hit
beer
that shit, bitch!
and picked up a sparkling water. Things are
Ooh.
delicious.
Mm.
Good, smart, strawberry, naturally flavored with other natural flavors.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, strawberry. Wait, naturally flavored with other natural flavors. So what is natural flavor? No,
Like
naturally flavor.
the nectar of the fruits.
Right, but then it says with other natural flavors. So what are the other natural flavors?
Yeah, the
I know what they're trying to say. They're trying to say that it's the naturally strawberry flavored with other natural flavors.
yeah, like
However, they put strawberry naturally flavored with other natural flavors. It just seems off. But off to a riveting start with the completely inappropriate podcast, everybody. I am Anthony along with Mr.
Frank.
How you doing, Frank? I'm okay. Yeah, whatever. So what have you got in store for us today? Today we're gonna try for this episode, we're gonna try and keep it on track with an actual show for you guys, unlike the last episode where I kind of just decided to just chit chat with Frank until we got lost in a bog of Marvel. So Frank, what do we got for this episode, man? I'm sorry, wait, hold on. What were we gonna talk about again?
So last episode we
Not even gonna break character. I was just, so that was an attempt at humor because yeah, anyway.
It would have been
right,
an inside joke. That's why I didn't follow along.
I was gonna explain it. Fuck you. Right. Fine. Cut it out of the video. Cut it out of the audio. I don't care.
Cut you out.
I don't care.
So anyways.
All right, come pick up the equipment. Find a new host. I'm done with this bullshit. I've been trying to get you to do that for months now, but you keep making me be a part of it.
I'm not making you do anything.
This was all your ideas, so you have to show up.
No, I'm just saying, finish what you started. You gave yourself the fucking time lapse of fucking at least 3 years. So, this July is going to be 2 years. So,
all right, moving on. We can't rehash this every fucking 5 episodes.
So last episode, we tried getting into Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
What did you think of it, man? Before we get into any of the conspiracy theories and what everybody else thought, what did you think about it? Before you did any research on what everybody else thought?
I think we're finally getting somewhere. Like, I think the story is just now taking off. Like, the first 3 episodes were setups. And this one, like, okay, this is where it takes off.
Yeah, what did you think about Baron von Braun or whatever the fuck his name is?
Von Braun?
Baron, the Baron dude, the one that breaks
Zemo.
out of prison. Zemo? Zoltan? Zoltan!
No, that's the guy you feed quarters to.
That's Zoltar.
Oh, then
Zoltan was the alien god that they prayed to in Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just saw it the other day, dude. That is a timeless classic. I love Dude, Where's My Car? It's so great.
Cool. So anyways,
thank you.
So
I'm sorry. Back to comic book Marvel. Back to sucking Disney's dick.
Hey, they might pay us. Anyways,
you need to get a better camera first, fucker.
So then, yeah, the guy Daniel Brohl, the guy that plays Zemo, he came out with, in one of his interviews, he said that there's actually more footage of him dancing, and so then ever since then, fucking it was trending on Twitter. #release the Zemo cut. Because release the Snyder
What do you mean
cut.
of him dancing? I don't remember him dancing.
Yeah, there's a scene in episode 3, I think, maybe.
Yeah, that's where he's featured. 3. Yeah, but what?
Yeah, where they're in the fucking nightclub and he's dancing in the dance floor.
Oh, I missed that. Yeah, I think I was, and that's because I tried to watch both episodes twice before we recorded this, and I still just got so distracted. I've been real ADD ever since I got this fucking bike, man. I'm telling you, like, all I can think about is just whatever I got to do to fucking get my skills up on that thing. You know me, I've always claimed it. I'm a fucking addict, man. Once I find a new thing to go after, I drop everything else and I do that.
So anyways, so then Marvel responded by releasing a 1 hour clip of Zemo dancing.
No, an hour.
An
They
hour.
had
It's
him
on
dance
it.
for, I
Yeah.
assume, for over an hour, if that's what they put out.
No, it's for an hour. An hour
No,
and
I
two
know, but
minutes,
I'm
I think.
saying like imagine that the entirety of the footage is probably even longer than that too, and they probably cut out like the worst parts of it or something.
Spoiler alert, it's on the loop. So sure.
Oh, it's just a loop of it. Oh, that's different.
Yeah,
I was like, how do you get somebody to dance for that's so much film that you're wasting watching this guy just do dance moves.
yeah,
Like, don't worry, we'll cut it together and make it look good. Just do random moves. I can't dance. Like, just do whatever. We'll make it look like a dance.
yeah.
It
So
wouldn't surprise me.
it's in their YouTube channel, Marvel Entertainment, I think it's called.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, it's like Zemo dancing for an hour. And I shared it on Facebook and I put hashtag release the Zemo cut.
That's nuts, man. So so what do you think? So what do you think about him being a part of the universe and being a part of helping them in the way that he's been?
I think it's gonna bite them in the ass because of course
I
he's
mean,
a villain.
do you really think there's an ulterior motive and he's a real bad guy, or do you think he just has this one goal? Like, what happens if he were to eliminate the possibility of any future soldiers, you know, super soldier serums and super soldiers becoming a thing? If he's able to stop all that, would he stop? Because apparently nobody wants any more super soldiers except for the army itself
Right.
or military industrial complex, whatever.
Yeah. I don't think Zemo is actually by definition a villain. I think what's going on is that he's a man with a belief, of course
Yeah,
that
he's
that
Lee Harvey
radicalizes people.
Oswald and
Yeah.
who is it? The bomber. What was his name? Fuck.
Yeah, because he lost his family in Age of Ultron because the Avengers fucking had everything to do with it. And so he thinks that superheroes shouldn't be allowed. So I don't think he's an extremist. I think he's an authoritarian. Like, he believes that, well, maybe he is an extremist because authoritarian would be like superheroes should be registered, superhumans should be registered, but no, it's like, well, anyways. So then yeah, I think what's gonna happen is that um not so much that Zemo's gonna accomplish his goal, but by the end of the season, Zemo's gonna be proven right. That super
Well,
huge.
now, okay. Now, in that same vein, do you think that this whole story arc is proving correct of Ultron in the end? That the world was better with half the population gone, that bringing them all back was a mistake and is just making the world more screwed up than it was before,
That
when
was
everything
Thanos.
had legitimately been better when half the population was gone.
That was Thanos. Ultron wanted
Oh,
to.
Thanos, yeah.
Yeah, Ultron wanted to eliminate humanity because humans are inherently evil, and he wanted a reign of superbots. He wanted superbots to take over the world.
Okay, yeah, let's focus on my point though. So I got the villain wrong. You know what I mean though?
Okay, Thanos. What about Thanos? That he what? Because I was telling you that
That, or is he being proven right in this whole story arc, or is it just inherently obvious that that idea is correct, that half the population should be eliminated, and it would make for a more economical and viable humanity, in existence in today's age?
Yeah, I think there's a parallel there that Zemo isn't saying half the world's population shouldn't exist. He's saying, only those with super abilities, only the superhumans shouldn't
They
exist.
shouldn't exist because, yeah, as he says, where there's uh, I mean, he was talking about the serum in particular, like whenever there's an available way for somebody to become all powerful, even if they have good intentions, it's gonna corrupt. It's that whole ultimate power corrupts ultimately, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or there, I know there's a better way to say that, but you know what I mean. Like that's
Yeah, yeah,
basically what he's saying the whole time. And all the time, everybody's like in the back of their head thinking, well, Cap was, Captain America was, Steve was, and then finally, I think it's Baron. What's his name again? Fuck,
Baron Zemo.
Baron Zemu, Zemu, Zima.
Zemo.
I never drank a
Oh,
Zima.
cool.
Anyway, Zemo. So Zima. He straight up says it. He's like, yeah, no, there's fuck. What was I saying?
That there hasn't been
that,
another Steve
that
Rogers.
no, yeah, that there is no other Steve Rogers, is there? There hasn't been a new, and everyone just gets quiet because it's true. Like, so what do you think it was that made Steve in particular? Like, was it just the fact that he was born during this particular time in the world and he grew up being the smallest guy with the biggest heart? Does that really inoculate him from any human negative traits? Because Captain America is basically the answer for the altruism of Superman for DC. It's the answer for that. Between Spider-Man and Captain America, you have Superman basically. Um, but what is it? I mean, they're both still human. Like Spider-Man makes mistakes all the time. Like that, he very much is not, like you said, the most relatable character, as you said in the last episode. But then you have Captain America, who is just a human. Yes, he's superhuman, and it makes you uh whatever his name is. That's the friend in the new Captain America has said. It's like it. I think the serum just enhances what's already there.
Yeah, that's what that German scientist said in the first Avenger. That scene explains it. That explains what's going on now. That what happened? That because Steve was scrawny, he was powerless, and he appreciates, he has respect for power,
So yeah, exact. So same exact story arc as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He was the weakest kid, this scrawny dork nerd that was picked on and ignored, and then all of a sudden he has ultimate power and he can't even, you know, show people that he has it.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man is arguably the strongest, I mean, superhero out there as far as athleticism, strength, durability, all of it. I mean, aside from the Hulk, right?
Right. Yeah. But what
But
happened?
even the Hulk's a little slow. He's always getting caught somehow. The biggest motherfucker always getting caught.
Yeah. Superman beat him by tripping him. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, no, I don't even remember. I don't. He's been beat so many times, but like everybody's always trying to pin the Hulk against people, and then is like, oh, a surprise upset. The Hulk loses. It's like y'all know that's some bullshit. The Hulk would always win. In reality, if something like the Hulk existed, where angrier it got, the stronger it got, like there would be no holding it back. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and according to psychology, there would be a point in Hulk's anger where he just doesn't care anymore and he'll just walk away.
It becomes, well, that's arguably the reason why Bruce Banner isn't able to Hulk out for a while. Remember?
Yeah.
He just doesn't care enough anymore.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. But anyways.
How do you think all this is going to tie? I'm real curious as to how all this is going to tie into the Black Widow.
Oh, shit. I'm wondering too. There was something.
It has to, right? Or
Yeah,
is it gonna?
because
Are they just gonna jump timeline again?
well, the thing is that they, with Marvel, they all come out in chronological order, but because of Rona,
No, they don't.
yeah, because of Rona, they fucking scrambled, right? They had to scramble it
Well,
because
no, because Marvel. I mean, Captain Marvel was already out of order,
right, it took place in the 90s,
and so was
but
Homecoming, wasn't it? What? No, I guess Homecoming was on
but
on par.
the thing with Captain Marvel is that it was sort of a prequel to, well, it was a prequel to Endgame,
I still haven't gotten all the way through Marvel. Actually, I just realized.
huh. Well, I guess I should stop talking about Captain Marvel then.
No, you're gravy.
Okay, good.
It's been long enough. We're
So,
spoiling. We're spoiling. fucking Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier for a lot of people. Like it's only fair that I get something spoiled on me if it's just a movie that I probably won't finish anyway. I don't give a fuck.
So yeah, what the fuck was I telling you?
I don't know, man, but that's enough of the. Yeah, I mean, we've recapped that enough. I think
No,
we
because
want to save some time for some other stuff.
there's news on Captain the God. Fuck. Now I'm just like everyone else. There's news on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There's this thing called TOTS. It stands for Tune Out Timestamp, and apparently, or according to this guy's sources, around 5 p.m. 2 Saturdays ago, or no, yeah, 2 Saturdays ago, TOTS numbers for episode 2 went crazy. People turned off in droves all around the same part of the show, within seconds of each other.
Like they were all just they were so at episode 2 of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a bunch of people were shown to have stopped watching at a particular point in the show.
Yes, 79.9% of viewers.
That is pretty.
Pretty
Yeah,
high.
that
Yeah,
points to something. Okay, so what was this point in the show?
the scene was where where Bucky and Falcon are arguing, right? And then the cops pull up.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. You know what? Yeah, that was pretty because it's supposed to be escapism. It's supposed to be addressing like the more insane. Yeah, no. I understand that. Yeah, because it changed the tone of the show really bad. It was really weird, a really weird um
yeah,
flag to throw up.
because it came after the scene where Isaiah Bradley, the Black Captain America, was talking about being treated unfair after he served his fucking country.
Right. So the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they've gone to go visit this one guy, and they've you know Bucky knew from back then, and it ends up being this black guy who had also received the soldier serum, the super soldier serum, and nobody knew about it. They kept it under wraps because they obviously didn't need a black face of America. They needed a white face of America, so they just had the black guy as. I assume they had him as the trial, right? The trial black guy because
Well,
they
in
could
the
spare one of them, I guess.
in the comics,
It is pretty dark. I mean,
in the comics, it's that the U.S. government experimented on black soldiers
right.
with the super soldier serum, and the only one to survive was that guy.
Yeah, so he was out there kicking ass just like Steve was, just like Captain America was, but he was somehow miraculously kept under wraps. No stories of him leaked out, which is a pretty big plot hole. I'm not real comfortable with it. I feel like that guy needs to come back into the story and explain a bit more. Like maybe he ended up being an older superhero back then and disappeared off the map, and
Yeah, I think it's setting up.
they need a lot more explaining for that character because that was not justified. It seemed like they were really trying to force an issue, force a message.
Yeah, that BLM message.
And
But
they were doing so good, but without doing all that, like
yeah,
even with Black Panther, they didn't overdo the messaging there, in my opinion. Like it,
yeah,
it made sense for the storyline when they brought it up then, but this time it was just really forced. And then, yeah, like you said, so they're outside of Compton, they're in a black neighborhood, a quote unquote black neighborhood, like that. I mean, even saying that is racist now, right? Because it's just a lower income neighborhood, right?
yeah. They moved it to Baltimore, where in the comics, the guy's from Harlem. So
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, so it was out of place. It was very weird. So yeah, then let's pull up because Bucky and him are arguing outside the house, being like, "Hey, Bucky, how come how did nobody know about this? Like, so did Steve know about this?" He's like, "No, Steve didn't know. I didn't tell anybody. I thought the guy had been through enough. So no, I've kept this a secret as well." And then the cops pull up and they immediately ask for the black guy. Like, is there a problem here? Do we need ID? Like The white guy hit. First off, in real life, if the white guy said no, it's fine, they would get mad at both of them and tell them both to get the fuck off the road.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be. They wouldn't just be allowed to. They wouldn't just stop and point out the black guy. I don't think. Do you like? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just so sheltered in this little town I live in. You know.
Yeah, because what happened is that they were arguing, so the cops pulled up and they asked Bucky, like, is this man bothering you? And he's like, no, we're fine. Like everything, we're just fucking talking. And it looked like they were about to go fucking Rodney King on Falcon. And then the other cop, his partner, whispered in his ear, and he's like, oh my God, I had no idea.
Yeah, he didn't know that he was the Falcon,
Yeah, and then
an Avenger.
before the Isaiah Bradley scene, these guys were crossing the street, and this black kid yells out, "Hey, it's Black Falcon!" And Falcon's like, "Why am I the Black Falcon?"
That
like,
is pretty funny, though.
yeah, because I'm the Falcon and I'm black. And he's like, "Well, technically," and he's like, "So what are you, black kid?"
I got him right. I got him. Yeah, no, I remember that. No, but I thought it was pretty good because I always thought it was the same thing about calling Black Panther Black Panther. Like, although it made sense because it was the name in the comic books traditionally,
Yeah,
and it wasn't the Black Falcon traditionally in the comic books, so they're sticking to the script. But it was always weird. Like, aren't panthers aren't black by nature, right?
yeah.
So why wouldn't he just be called the Panther? He had to be the Black Panther, like because of course back then you had the Black Panther movement, so they developed the character on behalf of the movement, which was at the time a huge thing as well. Like, man, there's so much to the history of comic books that like push the boundaries and like influence. You want to talk about influencing our kids? Like if Disney was influencing our like upper tier, what I was gonna say upper epsilon and upper tier, even that's like super supremacist type verbiage or word selection. I mean, like if Disney was focusing on what's it called, upper America,
Upper class.
upper class America, and influencing them, then comic books, the 2 cents, the 5 cents, 25 cents on the rack back in the 30s and 40s was influencing the kids, of lower income classes. So it's just amazing how influential this stuff still continues to be. Because now what do you get? You get superheroes and comics being made by the upper class for the lower class to influence us. When it used to be the other way, it used to be separated. The lower class had our own outlets for information and for our attitude, and so now we got podcasts, right? That's what we're doing now with podcasts. The comic books got bought out and got sold out to Disney. Literally now, right now, it's all been taken over, and we're in a position where podcasts are the opportunity for the lower income people to get their voice heard and speak to the people that are just like them, just like we're trying to do now. And then, you end up with things like Spotify buying out things like Joe Rogan and changing the format a little bit, whether he admits it or not. Like, things changed when he moved to Spotify, and it's going to continue to happen. Eventually, there's going to be so many upper tier, money dumped fucking podcasts out there from all these celebrities that don't want to work anymore because they went through quarantine not having to work and realized that podcasting will make money too, and it's a lot easier and more fun and blah 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 blah, what they're all fucking saying. And so it's going to flood out us little guys, where we had a chance a few years ago. Now it's almost no chance, but you got to keep trying, right?
Yeah.
We might scratch the surface
We might get
someday.
somewhere. So yeah. So then
Might crawl through a mile of shit and come out clean on the other side.
yeah. So then overall, 83.49% of the audience turned off the episode at the same point in the show. And it got to a point where someone at Disney said, get woke, go broke. And the guy got fired on the spot.
What? Get woke, go broke?
Yep.
Who said that?
Get woke, go broke. And they
But
fired
who
his
said
ass.
that and
Some
why?
guy, Yeah, some
Did
guy
he
that worked
tweet
for
it? Or did he just say it and piss people off in the
no, he said
at the
it. So
workplace?
then, yeah, he said it when the numbers came out. He's like, "Okay, we'll go broke," and they fired his ass on the spot because that term is forbidden in Disney, especially Lucasfilm. Like, you cannot say "get will go broke" because to them it's like, "Oh, Luke Skywalker is such a popular character. Oh, you know what'll make him even more popular
Make
if
him
he were
gay.
gay." And it's like,
I knew you were gonna go
yeah,
there.
and it's like, no, like that's not the point of the character. Like, much like Spider-Man, he's very relatable. Like, as a kid, you aspired to be like Luke Skywalker, but his sexuality was never in question. Like if you bring in um
No, yeah, he was so heterosexual he was willing to have sex with his sister. Just saying, I mean,
right.
incest or not, that's still heterosexuality.
Well, that was because George Lucas hadn't decided yet that him and her are
Yeah, I mean, it's
twins.
a standard trope. Why do you think that Game of Thrones was so popular? Anytime you throw incest into a storyline, it makes it's huge. Look at Woody Allen. Why do you think Woody Allen's movies have remained so popular? Because it came out he was fucking his stepdaughter. It's
Mhm.
incest apparently is real popular in the main culture because it's us who support these things.
Well, I guess it
Like
makes
we
sense
could choose to
considering.
boycott that. Why didn't we boycott the incest scenes, but we boycott fucking Harry Potter? You know what I mean? Do you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see the difference? We're getting mad at shit that doesn't really fucking exist because it's heresy. It's promoting fucking devil worship and all this shit according to the biblical fucking the Bible thumpers. And then we fucking get scenes that are legitimately like cause physical problems with the infants in those situations. It's I say fuck it. They want to have sex and have fucked up babies. Let them do it. It's their shit. I don't care either way. I say live and let live. I'll go to their barbecues. Oh, you know, I
Yeah.
would. I don't care about what people do. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna boycott one thing for being imaginary and not the other thing for that's actually real and can happen, and they're both equally frowned upon in your religion or your belief structure, but you're only willing to act on one and not the other, like where I don't understand where people choose these lines.
So speaking of boycotting, there's a
Boycott.
yeah, there's a video game that apparently was canceled 10 years ago, but is now coming to light. Yeah, it's been in development and everything. It's called 6 Days in Fallujah. And these people, the Council on American Islamic Relations, uh, is out
Oh,
there.
I see. Okay, so real quick, it was a tactical shooter slated to be the first video game to focus directly on the Iraq War or Iraq War.
Yeah.
Followed the plot. The game's plot follows a squad of U.S. Marines from the 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines, fighting in the Second Battle of Fallujah over the span of 6 days in November 2004.
Yeah. So then, yeah, the game follows Marine soldiers and Iraqi civilians. And the who the fuck did I say? Council on American Islamic Relations is outraged. They're saying cancel that shit because
Well,
it is an Arab murder simulator.
okay, well, this isn't the first time that so it was the subject of controversy back when it tried to come out back in 2009, or at least they were talking about coming out with it. And so the spokesperson said they were no longer going to publish the game due to the controversy surrounding it. That was back in 2009. So the game, no, it was slated to be released in 2010, but it was canceled due to the controversy. So the game was put on hold until 2016. But the original studio, Atomic Games, went bankrupt in 2011, so they weren't able to do it then. So in February 2021, the game was announced to be back in development at Highwire Games. The people that made Halo and Destiny, the developers for that game, were going to do it, and it's expected to be released this year now. So they've been trying to make this game since 2009, and it's been, essentially boycotted in one form or another since then. And now it's finally, been developed, being made, ready to come out, and they're stopping it again for the
Mhm.
same controversy.
Yeah, they're
But that's kind of bullshit because we've been playing 007, killing Ruskies and Russians, Russians all the time, Soviets and all that shit. We've been playing Call of Duty where we're in, are we in like Brazil and Mexico and like, I've got all these games. I just don't fucking care enough to remember their names.
uh-huh. Or you got
Let
games
me.
like fucking Red Dead Redemption, where now this
I've never
wasn't
played that actually.
like this wasn't a thing, but you put two and two together. Like you can actually rope people, right? And then drag them with your horse.
Oh yeah, no, that's okay.
Yeah,
Sure,
no,
why not?
yeah, but they also had
But no
black,
Wingardium Leviosa.
yeah, they had black characters, and I'm like, so what's stopping people from roping these black characters and dragging them
Nothing.
by the horse?
Nothing.
So why wasn't there,
Nothing.
yeah, so why wasn't there
Nothing.
a racist outrage for this, you know?
Because it was time stamped. It was appropriate for the era.
uh I well, this is on the second battle of Fallujah. So it's
Yeah.
actually
So should there, okay, so real quick, so should there be an option to pile up the some to pile up prisoners naked and teabag them in a photo?
should that be a game? I don't think
No, no,
so.
no. Should I feel like that should be one of those side quest missions where you get like a special key for it or something. Like
Uh,
teabag the enemy.
well,
Or
Rami,
teabag pile.
yeah, Rami is
How'd you feel? Hang on. I got to talk to you about this
okay.
because this was a Marine issue, right? Do you
It
remember
was an
this?
army thing.
Oh, was it an Army thing?
Yeah.
I could have swore it was a Marine thing. Seems like a Marine thing. But anyway, how did you feel about that as a soldier, as somebody who served and was in the shit? Like, how do you feel when something like that comes out, where you see soldiers, quote unquote, disgracing the position that they're in, publicly like that?
The thing with that is that the book says
What
uh
book? The
the
Bible?
no, the law book says the Geneva Convention, I guess. Yeah, the Geneva Convention is against torturing. The book says the US does not torture. Therefore, if you see a CIA agent waterboarding somebody, I don't think you can say that on YouTube. Well, I just said it. It's not torture because the
It's
US doesn't
interrogating.
torture. Yeah. So, it's just what'd you say? Advanced interrogation? Yeah. Yeah.
Enhanced interrogation, yeah.
Enhanced interrogation. Yeah. So that's what it is. It's not torture if the US does it. So, but at the time I wasn't
Well,
in
this
this.
wasn't torture, that was it? This was just people just, it was basically the Stanford prison experiment. You had a bunch of people not being watched, uh, keeping prisoners, themselves and with very little oversight. So they, started fucking with the prisoners a bit more than they needed to, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like they had this one guy, uh, they had three dogs in chains fucking barking at the guy, and the guy's against the
No, it's
wall.
Three Dogs Night.
Oh, okay. That.
Alice in Chains.
Yeah. And what happened? And then they had the guy that had a trash bag over his head, naked, So that's not torture because the US doesn't torture. So,
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But yeah,
All
so
right. Well, moving on. What was the point about? So they're trying to boycott the game. What's the likelihood that they're going to succeed? What do you think? If
well,
you
I
had to
don't
say.
I don't think they're gonna succeed because what happens nowadays with cancel culture, with video games specifically, is that they come out saying, "Hey, we should fucking cancel this because it has this, this, and this." Well, it makes people like you and I look into it and be like, "Oh shit, this is actually a pretty badass game. Yeah, I think I'll buy that." It's the whole,
Sure.
yeah, it's the whole thing. The whole fucking don't go there and then you go there anyways. That's what's happening here. That they're saying don't buy
Yeah,
this.
it's exactly what we were talking about 3 or 4 episodes ago with the Lil Nas X shoes. Like he knew he was going to get in trouble. He knew it was going to be so inflammatory that something was going to happen when he made those Nike shoes with real blood painted into them or whatever the fuck he ended up doing, putting them in the soles of the shoe. However the fuck he ended up doing. He knew he wasn't going to be able to get away with that, but it gave him enough clout and enough free press for a fucking week and a half or however long those fucking 15 minutes of fames last nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And people went and rushed out to buy those fucking shoes for what were they going like $2,000?
$1,000, like $1,000.
I thought it was closer to $2,000, and that's just original price. Like those things are going to be resold on the black market for like 5-10 grand because they're art pieces and banned and taboo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's America for you. We live off taboo. But I think we've been going long enough here, man. What do you think? How long's it been?
It's been a while. I fucking remembered. I'm like, shit. I didn't catch the time we started recording.
All right. Well, this has been another wonderful episode of the complete. What? You took a breath like you wanted to say something.
No,
what?
yeah, I'm
Get
just
it
gonna
out.
say like one last thing. There was a tweet that came out by one of the co-founders of Neuralink that the tweet said, we could probably build Jurassic Park if we wanted to. Wouldn't be genetically authentic dinosaurs, but shrug emoji. Maybe 15 years of breeding and engineering to get super exotic novel species. So then,
sure, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much been proven that if they can clone things, they can bring things back with enough genetic material.
Right.
And we already know that cloning is a legitimate possibility now, getting cheaper and cheaper as time goes on. That's why we're able to clone and produce things like false meat. Like they're working on 3D printing proteins to build meat from nothing, from just proteins that you extract from plants or other animals or whatever, but making genetically built slabs of beef. It's amazing.
Yeah. And so these people ran with it. They're like, oh my God, Neuralink is going to bring back dinosaurs. They're going to extract DNA and fucking from a mosquito and amber. But no, I was right. One of my fucking possibilities was true. Like, no, he's not saying they're gonna bring back dinosaurs, but he was saying that they're gonna not classic Jurassic Park, but the horrible sequel Jurassic Park trilogy. That is what he was referring to. So in the article was saying that we could extract DNA from more recently extinct animals, such as the woolly mammoth, for de-extinction. And then in theory, build and implant a mammoth embryo in a modern day elephant and then see what happens, which according to the Emerald Tablets, that's how the fucking Anunnaki made us, but yeah, so there's that. Okay, cool. I don't know what happened, but yeah. So this is the Completely Inappropriate Podcast. I am Frank, along with Let's See What Tony Says. Hey, you're on speaker. Yes, I'm still recording. Okay. Yeah, I was signing off anyways. Okay, I hope they caught that because I don't remember which one this thing is. Anyways, okay, yeah. So this is us. This is me. You know where to find us. You know where to catch us. Fucking everywhere you listen to podcasts, that's where we're at. So then, if you don't mind, I am signing off. Remember, be excellent to each other.